them since the end of the Festus Challenge. But at this point, it looks like they really are starting to get their crews locked down. So I'm very eager to see exactly what they have to offer.
Yes, indeed. The Mad Hatters have always been a bit of a team in transition, I feel, for quite some time.
Mm-hmm.
Then again, I mean, Cake were that way for a fair old while as well. However, Cake have sort of, I'd say, evened out a bit with sort of Melon McCrabanathy being one of the key Cake pilots.
Melon is an amazing pilot. Speaking from personal experience, flying with him and flying on his ship, he's
a tricky little. I'm not going to use that word. He's a tricky little fella, shall we say? I can say from experience at flying against him.
Just for a moment here, Scrimscraw is in our chat listening to our stream now. Scrimscraw, you flew my Mark III today. It was beautiful. It was magical. Actually, no, it wasn't the Mark III, now that I think about it. I have a mine launcher in slot 4 on my Pyramidion, not a flare launcher, so it wasn't quite the Mark III. Either way, it was beautiful, and I'm so glad it worked out well for you guys. You did a good job with it.
Well, in any event, the Melon, you think he's going to go up, then he goes down. You think he's going to go back, he goes forward. You think he's going to go left.
I have a word for this. Squiffy.
Etc.
He's squiffy.
Yeah. He's handy with his evasions and not going where you expect him to go, in my experience.
He's like a greased piglet. You just can't get a hold of him.
A very flattering comparison there.
By the way, Melon McCrabanathy and Replaceable, our two Cake pilots today, know each other. Like, they're friends in real life.
Oh my OMG, friends in IRL.
There is a chance they are piloting from the same room.
Yes, there's a chance they might be giving each other high fives as we speak.
Let's not go that far.
Well, maybe they're not stereotypical frat boy bros. Or maybe they are. I don't know. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Anyway. Yes, don't worry, all our frat boy bro viewers out there. I like to wind up the crusty old dean and drink a few beers just as much as the next fellow.
Was that even English?
No, we don't have deans in England. I think we've got chancellors, I believe. I'm just translating. Chancellors, yes. The chancellor of the university. You don't have, yeah, it's not college, it's university.
It's college.
College. What kind of an accent is this? I don't know.
I call that a New York State.
Kind of New York State, okay.
It's not Brooklyn.
Almost a little bit Bostonian there. I am going to college. Ich bin ein Berliner.
Clam chowder.
It's
Clam
not
chowder.
It's not chowder. It's chowder. Yes. Just mild racism and Simpsons references aside, it looks like we have everyone in the lobby right now.
I can't breathe.
You can't breathe. Breathe, man. Breathe. Just act like an impatient Call of Duty player.
Oh, I hate you.
Go.
We have the Admiral Cake Bar.
Admiral Cake Bar.
We have the Admiral Cake Bar and the Dancing Cake here on this one. And then we have Princess Tutu's I'm Sorry and the Hater's Folly.
All right. Oh, yes. Some obscure references there. Of course, Admiral Quackbar. Was that...
Admiral Quackbar was Sammy's Junker.
Sammy's BT ship, yeah.
Sammy's Junker, yep.
Yes.
I don't know if Melon is referencing that or just referencing Admiral whatever his name was in the first place.
Well, yeah, that's a possibility. He could be referencing either the actual Admiral Quackbar or the legendary Junker of Sammy BT.
Admiral Akbar, that was his name.
Yes, yeah, no, God, it wasn't bloody Admiral Quack. His name is Admiral Akbar. God, I've heard the word Admiral Quackbar so many times. I'm starting to bloody think that's his name.
Sammy BT brainwashed us.
Thanks for ruining Star Wars for me, Sammy BT.
Damn it, Sammy. Today is weird enough as is.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need Sammy's mind control.
No, yes, that's the last thing we need. Yes, maybe that's why Sammy always used to win all the time. Mind control. Hashtag Guns of Icarus Gate. I have proof in the IRC logs. Any event.
Does anyone even use IRC anymore?
Only if you're a 4chan person who wants to ruin Zoe Quinn's career.
I forgot about that. We are waiting, for better or worse, for the gents team to ready up here.
Yes, you make us banter, Lobby. We're not bantering. We don't have a choice. You have to tick. We got no choice. You see, you made us do this.
We're waiting for them.
Oh dear. I'm sorry. Well, I'm sorry. Should be sorry because it's taking a very long time to. Enough homosexual flirtation. Is there homosexual flirtation going on here, Maddie Lee?
You know, is it safe to ask?
Well, maybe we're better off not knowing. I don't know. Are the gent team just... Oh, looks like we've got another disconnect here. I think
Tiberius just crashed out.
I think we might be here a little while. I think we'd better pack a lunch, as they say. I
didn't even have a lunch today.
Well, did you at least pack a Kit Kat or something?
No!
That will be prepared, man. We're in for the long haul here.
We are. Finals will be on this stream, by the way, guys, for better or worse.
Let's have a little look at these builds here. It looks like the I'm sorry, nothing to apologize for, mate. It's just a Metamidian, nothing wrong with that. And I'm sorry and I apologize. A very apologetic gent, Mad Hatter team here, perhaps realizing that they're taking their time to start. It looks like we've got a Lumberfish Gat Mortar Metamidian combo here.
I like the Lumberfish on Northern Fjords. I know I shouldn't because I've seen it lose so many times, but I like the Lumberfish on this map. I really do.
Is this a kind of a irrational love?
It is. It's much like Sammy's enjoyment of Junkers. It's completely irrational.
No, that's a completely rational love though, because he won a lot of games with it. Yours is an irrational love where it loses time and time again, and you still love it. That's the difference between being irrational and irrational.
Stop ruining my dreams. We're getting into the map finally, guys. We can actually go back to cast mode here. Northern Fjords is the map.
Yes, it is serious business, serious journalism here.
We have a lot of space to work with on this map, but at the same time, there's a lot of things that can block your view, such as the archway here. We have a boat down there. We got Candy Mountain Charlie right over there.
Candy Mountain Charlie.
Candy Mountain Charlie.
That was brilliant. That was perfect. You should
go ahead.
Okay. In any event, first off on the Admiral Cake Bar, we have, captained by Mullen McCrabanaffy, a Junker with a left side Artemis Hades, front Artemis, and right side Rocket Carousel Carronade. And on the Dancing Cake, we have a front Artemis, a side Artemis Hades, and a right side Carronade.
When did Cake start taking meta Junkers?
When did Cake decide to wholesale copy the Mandarins? That is the real question here.
I fear for my life. All right, on the Mad Hatter's side of things, rather, on the sorry, Princess Tutu flying a Metamidian, Gat Mortar on the front there. Banshee and Flare on the side. And then we have the Apologize. It is a Lumberfish with Carronade and Mine Launcher on there. And there we're good to go.
Well, yes, Dancing Cake, a reference to Dancing Feather of the Froggers.
Oh my god!
And Admiral Cake Bar, a reference to Sammy's Junker, and they're copying their trifecta Artemis Hades, but this is just a carbon copy of the Mandarins, and they're executing it very well.
This is ridiculous. This is cake.
I mean, look, they're not even being subtle about the fact they're ripping them off. They're actually using like parodies of their names. I mean,
if someone could please let Sammy know that Cake has stolen their idea. Dancing Cake struggling to keep their balloon up against that lumberjack. It's definitely doing a number on them. They're trying to maintain altitude.
Hashtag Guns of Icarus ethics here, guys. As Apologize is just sort of duking it out with the Admiral Cake Bar and the Dancing Cake, but he's not getting the better of it. It's just these Hades shots are landing with a reasonable frequency. I think if this was the Mandarins right now, the Mandarins might be sort of moving in closer here. Or something to get into a better position for those Hades to hit more consistently. But since the Apologize has dropped the spots, I mean, those Hades and those Arts aren't going to hit with enough consistency.
Admiral Cake Bar losing their balloon there. I'm sorry, is sitting very low. They just got spotted. It is a Metamidian, so they have to wait to spring some form of trap.
I'm sorry, apologetically moving back. Just realizing he wasn't wanted underneath that archway, so he's just made himself scarce.
Apparently, all Kirk knew about this, of course, Kirk, the leader of Cake, all Kirk knew about this was that Melon and Irreplaceable said they were planning something and that it would be quote-unquote funny.
Yes, well, I see they have done something quote-unquote funny here.
Funny in trademark violation, maybe.
How funny is copyright infringement, eh? How funny is that?
I apologize. Taking some shots on the Admiral Cake Bar. That lumberjack still doing a decent number on those cake balloons. Shots are landing on the lumberjack, though. Lumberjack is out, I believe. Getting close here. Yep, lumberjack is out, which gives the cake team just a moment to refocus on the goldfish.
Nicely done indeed, as the I'm sorry ducks underneath the archway, perhaps trying for some sort of flank. Oh, but it looks like the Mandarin Cake have rumbled the Mad Hatter team here. They've moved in closer to the Apologize. Now the Apologize is in no man's land. He is about to get just massacred, I believe, by that. For some reason, the Dancing Cake is not focus firing. The Dancing Cake is firing on I'm sorry.
I think this is actually pretty reasonable. They want to keep that Metaminion under control while they deal with the Lumberfish. They don't want to allow these two Mad Hatter ships to focus their fire on a single target. If that happens, if you have the Lumberjack and the Metaminion on a single target, a Junker will die.
However, just, I mean, a Hades art trifecta on its own, it's going to take a very long time to get a kill if there's no focus fire.
True. It's not going to get a kill anytime soon, but it is going to get a kill.
Is leveraging the fact that Dancing Cake could not get a kill to come in and focus on the Admiral Cake Bar.
Uh-oh. Yeah, the Cake team has allowed these two Mad Hatter ships to focus their fire on a single target. Armor getting stripped away from that Junker. They are in emergency mode here.
And those Hades are hitting on the I'm sorry, but it's not enough to stop the barrage of the I'm sorry and the Admiral Cake Bar. If I apologize can just supplement the fire just a little bit, the Admiral Cake Bar is in big trouble, but the Admiral Cake Bar, just like the guy he's ripping off, is quick to evade underneath.
I have no comment at this point. I apologize, and I'm sorry. Both have a couple component issues they need to deal with here. Admiral Cake Bar keeping things together pretty darn well in this situation. Able to just dance around the Metamidian to a point where it cannot keep consistent fire on it.
Yes, well, I mean, I apologize.
Oh, I'm sorry, just lost its armor. They are going down fast. They have been able to focus their fire. Cake gets the first kill in this best of 3.
Goodness, I apologize, should be apologizing to its dead ally right now, because I feel if they would have been focus firing on the Admiral Cake Bar, they might have got the kill there, but they just let the Dancing Cake get back in. They let the engagement go too long.
Admiral Cake Bar takes some shots in the balloon there, greased rounds loaded into that lumberjack, causing all sorts of troubles for these junkers. If the Apologize just keeps reeling backwards and drawing the junkers out, it's going to have a field day with them.
You may very well be right, especially if it keeps the high altitude and just fires down. And I'm sorry, now blindsiding the Dancing Cake. The Dancing Cake's turning his arcs to intercept.
Good Artemis shots so far, but can they get the disables on that Metamidian to keep themselves alive? Armor is going down.
Armor
Hull
strip on the
is
Dancing
exposed.
Cake. I'm sorry, coming in for the ram. Oh, but,
the ram. The ram from I'm sorry bounced them out of mortar arcs.
And could that cost them big here? We'll see. But it looks like I'm sorry's got his arcs back on again. But I'm sorry, I think one of his guns has been taken out. Yes. The Gatling got taken out there by the arts. Dancing Cake managing to stay alive. And now the Admiral Cake Bar's firing up at the I'm sorry with those Hades.
Good arcs from the Admiral Cake Bar. I apologize. Trying to focus mostly on the Dancing Cake. Balloon keeps going down. They're parachuting to try and keep altitude as best they can. I'm sorry, having a tough time turning. Looks like their engines may be pretty heavily damaged. Just getting the last engine back up. Armor is gone on the Pyramidian. Oh my goodness, that was a lot of hull gone very quickly.
Oh dear, I'm sorry, just getting wailed on here. Just eating that fire. This could be all she wrote for I'm sorry, and I feel this is the problem with the Lumberfish on Fjords. Fjords has greater vertical movement potential than any other map, and if you know you can just bring a ship down, a ship's balloon down, it can just go down and down, and then it'll just come back up again because you've got nothing to smash it into.
That is one of the problems with bringing a Lumberfish on Northern Fjords. You have to be able to draw the enemy team out. Because if you're just letting them do their thing, they're just going to dance around you, use cover, or just outrange you.
And you'll notice that the Apologize managed to get the Admiral Cake Bar's balloon, but even as the Cake Bars drifted down, it could still arc those Hades up at the I'm sorry, which led to it getting killed.
Look at those fantastic shots coming out from both Dancing Cake and Admiral Cake Bar. Both of them putting immense amounts of pressure on the Apologize. Getting its balloon popped over and over again. They cannot get guns up. Engines are on fire.
Yes, the engines are on fire indeed. But I Apologize, managing to duck behind the archway, just barely saving itself. I'm sorry, coming back in, but is he coming back into a dangerous 2v1 scenario?
They have great arcs on the Dancing Cake. If they just strip the armor, hull will be quite easily exposed, and there ain't much of that hull left to deal with.
That is true. That is true.
Ooh!
And mortars connect. Yes, with those carronade carousels, they didn't have enough to stop I'm sorry from getting the DPS in time.
Now the I'm sorry is having to deal with the Admiral Cake Bar in this situation, doing whatever they can, but it looks like Admiral Cake Bar has a bit of an advantage over this singular Metamidian. Gat shots are going into the hull though now. Armor is starting to take some hits, but Mallet gets it back up very quickly.
I'm sorry, it's got a lot of fire spread on him now, and now the hull armor's gone down. Admiral Cake Bar grinding down the I'm sorry, I apologize, coming back in.
This is incredible junker maneuverability. And we haven't really seen the expert junker flying like this since we saw Sammy and Frogger flying this. But this is rejuvenating to see.
Well, I'm not sure if I'd say so much rejuvenating as regurgitate. I'm sorry, Melanie. Let's just call it it's a tribute. It's a homage. Now, Admiral Cake Bar going low here, using its balloon to eat up the fire of the I'm Sorry. And now, oh yes, I'm Sorry has maneuvered himself into the danger zone. He can get 2v1'd here by the Cake Bar and the Dancing Cake.
Ooh! That's a rock kill combined with some Banshee fire from the Dancing Cake. That continual slow grinding from those two Junkers just continually flying routes around that Metamidian. It's simply too much to deal with.
Golly, yeah, the I Apologize has just not been as effective a support ship as it needs to be. Now, the advantage of this Mandarin style is that, you know, you've got a tool for every situation. You've got a medium range DPS and disable in those Artemis and those Hades. And if they get close, you can quickly turn for your Carronades and Carousel to just disable them utterly.
Isn't Mandarin style a song?
I'm sure the Duck parody department is working on that as we speak.
I'm sorry, coming around the far side of the cathedral. Looks like he's going to try to move in from above, using those trade winds to bounce him just a little bit on the Dancing Cake. Coming in behind, he's going to have great arcs on the engine column of the Dancing Cake. Amazing shots. Dancing Cake turning quickly to engage. Needs to turn that brawl side. He's still using his long range side to face him. Both Apologize and Sorry are targeting Dancing Cake. Not the situation that Replaceable wanted to be in. Admiral Cake Bar doing everything in their power to try and fend off this assault.
I Apologize is taking down the balloon of the Admiral Cake Bar, but it does not matter, because the Admiral Cake Bar is able to glide down and fire on the I'm Sorry, stripping its hull and doing some permahull there.
I'm sorry, having to get itself out of that situation. Dancing Cake did not take a single shot of permahull there, whereas both I'm Sorry and I Apologize are now missing some of their hulls.
Whenever you say I'm sorry, I keep worrying the stream's gone down or something.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I apologize. And now the Hades being arced up at the I'm Sorry. I mean, the I'm Sorry just has nothing to show from that engagement other than, like, less than half permahull. How can the Mad Hatters win this?
I'm not too sure, just because I'm Sorry had a great engage there. They came in from behind. They used the cover of the cathedral to give themselves a really good opportunity of engagement. And the Dancing Cake simply spun, attempted to engage and distract as best they could, while the Admiral Cake Bar did most of the damage. It's very strange. Like, I'm Sorry had a great engagement there. They had a great initiation, but they weren't able to capitalize on it at all.
Dancing Cake's being spotted here. I'm Sorry, trying for a very high altitude engage. Might be too high altitude. It's taking a long time for him to get his arcs on, during which time the two Junkers have managed to focus fire him. Oh, now I'm Sorry is exactly where he doesn't want to be. He's taking focus fire from both these Junkers. He's using his Gatling to take down the armor of the Dancing Cake, but he's just getting his balloon taken down every step of the way. Fire's being set on the I'm Sorry. Balloons down. Now the hull's starting to take damage as well. I Apologize, landing those lumberjacks, taking down the taking some permahull on the Dancing Cake, but I don't think it's enough. I'm Sorry is in big trouble, and I'm Sorry goes down.
Banshee has seen a lot of fantastic work today. Really, I'm loving the Banshees on these Junkers. I really am. It's something we don't see a ton anymore, but we've seen a lot of Banshee play today, and we're seeing that it can be used effectively to break hull.
And once again, I mean, I Apologize has been left all alone at the party, left to walk home kicking.
It's been very passive. It's been very passive this game. I think if they use the I Apologize to draw the Junkers into situations that are unfavorable to them, the gents would have a much greater rate of success here. But instead, 4-1, 4-cake so far.
They don't want to engage them in just such a wide open kind of area. It's just not working.
Yeah, really, if and I do believe the lumberjack, the lumberfish and metamidian combo can be successful in this situation. They need to use them to set traps, bait traps, and draw the prey into the traps. Because it's effective at disabling balloons. It's effective at grounding. You just have to ground them in the right spots.
Either they have to do that, or they have to start getting more aggressive, or they have to actually just go in there with the Apologize and just use its side carronade, just alternate between that and the lumberjack. But all they've been doing is just this very passive, very long-range fire with the lumberjack, which the Junkers can just take cover from, or just glide down anyway. So it's just not really that helpful. And I'm sorry, again, he's engaging in a situation where they've got cover from the I Apologize. This isn't going to work.
Yeah, they've the Junkers here have set up where they have pretty darn good cover from the lumberjack in this situation. Cake Bar just bouncing up a little bit. I'm sorry, getting the better of the Cake Bar.
Shut my mouth! Shut my mouth! It looks like the Cake Bar stuck its head up too far above that cover and got focus fired down by the I'm sorry and I apologize. This is what they need to do. They need to overwhelm them with that focus fire.
I have no idea. Oh, I felt like that engagement was not favorable to the I'm sorry, but they were able to get shots on that Junker. They were able to focus it down quickly.
Cake should not have lost that engagement. Oh, but they may still get the win. I mean, I'm sorry is in a compromising position here. It's turned backwards.
Very bad positioning, all things considered. Dancing Cake has very clear arcs on the engine column of the I'm sorry. Oh, hey, there's the Cake Bar,
needs to do something. I'm sorry, it's getting focused down, and that's it.
Great shots, great positioning, and very experienced, good flying from the Cake side of things. Overall, great job from Cake. I think, though, that the Mad Hatters are going to take from this and figure out a little more on how they want to use that goldfish, because as it stands, we've seen the Mad Hatters take the goldfish relatively often. So I think they've learned just a bit more on how to use it in a competitive manner, and I think they're going to learn well from this.
I hope so, yes. But in any event, congratulations to Cake. They take the first game of this series. Hopefully the second one will get started a little bit quicker than the first did.
I did not see what map we have. Do you know what map we have on this one?
We have, come on, Pastebin, don't do me wrong now. Blah, 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 blah. Paraton, I believe.
Paraton, we do not have that map in the rotation. We're going to need to make a new lobby, so
well,
tight, folks.
Diddly.
It's okay. We planned for this kind of situation.
we were ready for this. Well, we're professionals, aren't we? Can you sound a little less despairing in your laugh when I
I'm
say
sorry,
that?
I couldn't help myself.
Okay. Cake.
When you use that word professional. There we go. All right, lobby is back up, folks. Just had to type in the super secret password. Super secret.
Don't you need to get paid money for someone to be a professional? Okay.
Thank you.
I won't tell anyone any of the other casters were supposed to be paying them. And we're taking it all for ourselves. Oh, hello, everyone.
All those esports dollars that we're keeping.
We're just embezzling the esports dollars. And just swimming in a big Scrooge McDuck vault of esports dollars.
I was going to make a Ducks joke there, but I couldn't.
Yes.
I tried, and I realized I was going to fail before I even tried. Paraton Rumble is going to be the next map. We'll see which ships these teams decide to go with. In this style, 10 and 6, Misa Wildcard has flown this Pyramidion many a time. Many a time. I feel like this is going to be a little better suited to what Paraton Rumble has to offer map-wise.
This is a bit more kind of classic Mad Hatters, I'd say, with that Hades flak. I've seen them take that quite often in their storied history.
Princess Tutu has yet to change his loadout yet, although I wouldn't be surprised if they decide to take a Metamidian on this.
Hang on a minute.
What?
Admiral Cakebar looks to be replacing his Hades mount with a mine launcher. Okay.
Good lord.
Okay. Interesting. I mean, you know, it might work against a short-range Pyrrha, you know. It might work.
If there is one thing we've seen when it comes to mine launchers, they are... I'm loath to say this because I'm going out on a limb here, but mine launchers can be effective against Metamidians. Can be very effective because a Metaminion needs to approach from the front. They have to. They're required to. So you can kind of predict the exact path they're going to go to and place the mines in that path.
It's true. Mines can be very effective against Pyramidians. So, I mean, nothing to scoff at by any means. I'm just wondering where the raw killing power is going to come from. It looks like maybe it might come from the Hades, the Dancing Cake. I don't know. I just think the Cake team is a little bit starved for killing power with this loadout. Only like really one weapon on the whole team that can strip armor effectively.
Dudu is not changing that loadout at all. Like, absolutely no change.
Yes. Princess Tutu, very stubborn.
Well,
but apologizing though, apologetically stubborn.
I can't say he's stubborn in this situation because Metamidian isn't a bad combination for this map. I feel bad saying that because it's like, oh god, Metamidian, no more, please. But I mean, it's true. Metamidian is pretty darn good on Paradin Rumble.
Oh,
it's good at those quick ambushes.
A lot of people don't like Metamidians. They think they're boring. But I don't know. They make for some fast-paced, exciting matches.
I get why people don't like the Metamidian because we see it all the time. I get that. I mean, I understand, but to say that the Metaminion isn't good on a map like Paradin Rumble, where you have these very tight canyons, you have a lot of clouds to work with, and you have a lot of ambush potential, I mean, that I wouldn't be doing my job if I said that. The ambush potential is fantastic on a Metaminion. Very quick kills, snap, you break the armor, and then you break the hull, and you disappear. So... that's my 2 cents on it, at least.
Right, well. Again.
I'm kind of wondering what we're waiting for.
Yeah. Go.
Brick Hardcastle in chat saying go.
I just give him a little wink just to show I'm just messing about. I'm not really a impatient 15-year-old. Not that there's anything wrong with being a 15-year-old. Brick, notice me, senpai, it says Balana.
Right now, Glowwater Thralls versus T-Timers is happening. I've never actually heard of the T-Timers before.
Are they it sounds almost like either a gent team or a cake team, doesn't it?
Sounds like a gent team to me.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, whenever I hear T in a Guns of Icarus reference, I think of
the gents.
Gents. So
yes.
I don't know.
Mm.
Although I wish I could be watching that match, though, because I would love to know how a team that actually beat the Comeback Kids 404 is doing against veterans in the Glowwater Thralls.
Yes, well, you can see that on the other stream, if you're so inclined, in both Russian and English, I believe.
See.
Mm-hmm.
That's not Russian. He is not Russian.
No, it's not. I'm curious why you said that, to be honest.
Because I'm dumb.
Oh dear, Leto.
That's all I have. Again, we're just waiting for them to ready up. They really haven't changed anything for this game. We're just waiting for them.
Princess Tutu too shy to click that. Oh no, but there we go. She's overcome her fears. She's put off.
He.
I'm talking. I'm just referencing the anime character. It's a reference to.
It's a reference?
Yes, it is. Princess Tutu, a anime series and manga from the early noughties. It's about a magical girl and this sort of very pretty boy, and she does lots of ballet dancing, and there's a magical frog, and etc. etc. Anyway, in any event, as I think I'm breaking a new record for saying today, it is Parrot and Rumble, and we get ready with the loadouts. Admiral Cake Bar is captained, of course, by Melon Crabanafi. It has a left side Mine Artemis, front Artemis, right side Carronade Carousel, and on the Dancing Cake, piloted by Replaceable, we have a left side Hades Artemis, front Artemis, right side Carronade Carousel.
Over on the, I'm sorry, it's a Pyramidion piloted by Tutu. Hades and a Flak, they did change up from the Metamidion. I do like Hades Flak on this map quite a lot. I think it can be very effective at many different ranges, most of those exactly what you experience on Parrot and Rumble. They also have a Banshee and a Flare. We also have the In This Style 10 and 6, piloted by Mitsa Wildcard. It is a Metamidion. It is a Metamidion with a mine launcher and a flare on the side. That mine launcher was 99% guaranteed to be Toro's idea.
Yes, I'm sure it was. Let me just take a little look at that there. Yeah, mine flare.
Oh, look at this. Replaceable and Melon both sitting up in the south center of the map, high in the air, so they can get covering fire on anything that might approach them that isn't hugging the ground.
Yes, they've watched quite a few Mandarins matches here. This is, of course, the style they would use. Very high altitude, so they could fire down with those Hades Artemises, taking center map control, and yeah, just kind of moving around to force their opponents into a bad situation.
In the style 10 and 6, moving quickly south. Looking to try and get a flank on these two junkers.
It's a wide flank, but if they get rumbled here, this could be a very, very bad move.
In the style 10 and 6 has not been spotted yet, although they do have an opportunity to be spotted here.
Oh, yeah, he's spotted.
Yep.
Oh, dear, 10 and 6.
Beats a wild card. It could be in trouble here. The Cakes know he's coming.
Yes, indeed. He shouldn't have brought his football boots when trying to sneak.
What?
Yeah, I'm sorry, that was pretty rubbish.
That confused me. I'm sorry, beelining for these two junkers. Hades and Flax both firing at the same time, going straight for the Dancing Cake. Oh my goodness. Junker, the Metaminion coming in as well. Dancing Cake getting focus fired.
Dancing Cake about to eat a ram from In the Style 10 and 6. In the Style 10 and 6, ram the Dancing Cake. I'm sorry, the armor's taken down, but he's continuing to fire the Hades on the Dancing Cake. Now it's being supplemented with the Gatling. A few more to finish on the Dancing Cake.
Wow. That was a crazy engagement. My goodness.
That is what the Mad Hatters needed. A good hard dose of raw DPS.
Yeah, I think that mine launcher was not a great decision for Melon. As you can see, he is struggling to have his engineers get those mine placements right where he wants them.
I don't think it's a good idea.
Oh, never mind! Oh, God! That was a nasty mine hit on In This Style 10 and 6.
Oh, boy. And yes, that has allowed Admiral Cake Bar to slide between this narrow passage here and escape, preventing this engage from going 2-0. I'm sorry, taking a bounce as he tries to pursue.
Oh, mine right behind him! Mine on his right side.
Careful. Be careful.
Ooh.
Oh, dear. And yet now the Mad Hatters are in kind of an awkward position.
they've kind of meandered into this center position that the Cakes were occupying in the first place. In this style, 10 and 6 going below, using the spot on the Dancing Cake to guide it. It's now rising to engage. It is going to try and grind down the Dancing Cake as fast as possible.
However, in this style, 10 and 6 does not have the focus fire support of the I'm Sorry at this juncture. In this tile, 10 and 6 has got his balloon down. He hasn't been able to overwhelm Dancing Cake with DPS. And now in this tile, 10 and 6 is in a bad position. He's bouncing off the top of that building as his balloon is down. In this style, 10 and 6 trying to moonshot.
Mines are right behind him. He's reversing.
Oh, no! Oh, shit! Oh, my God. He just reversed into a mine there. And another one, but it wasn't necessary.
He reversed into 2 mines all at once there. That was crazy. For those looking for an update on the score, this is the second game of the series. Cake is up 1-0 after a 5-2 win, I believe. 5-1 or 5-2 win in the previous game. My memory isn't good anymore. Goodness, what do you expect from me?
Yes, well, at the grand old age of 27, I suppose it's fair enough that your memory...
You know, back in my day, we had scorekeepers to do this.
Oh, dear.
I'm sorry he's in a lot of trouble here. Both those Junkers sitting right above him, not taking any risks, dropping Artemis, Banshee, mines everywhere.
I'm sorry, just marginally avoiding these mines. Oh, but in this style, 10-6 coming back in, charging on the Admiral Cake Bar.
Admiral Cake Bar needs to rise out of this Pyramidian's arcs. They are getting ground down pretty quickly.
That's what he's doing. I think he's succeeded. However, I'm sorry now, firing on the Admiral Cake Bar.
They're inside arming time, so those guns are going to do surprisingly less. I'm Sorry has wandered into close range, not what they wanted to do at all. Dancing Cake has the style 10 and 6 separated out, while Admiral Cake Bar tries to keep in close range with the I'm Sorry as it grinds it down.
Oh, Admiral Cake Bar is just circling around I'm Sorry now. I'm Sorry is in a bad position. In this style, 10 and 6, trying to rear end the Dancing Cake with the Gatling coming in here.
Ooh, this is going to be very close. Dancing Cake not in a very good position, directly in the line of fire of that Metamidian.
Right beneath a mine as well.
Ooh.
Oh, and now the 2 Pyramidians are starting to get focus fire. A good
God!
Oh, good mine hit. That might have saved the Dancing Cake there.
I can only assume it did. Armor comes back up on the Junker. Mine hits are going out everywhere.
Oh, excellent mine placement.
Look at those Banshees start to rip that hull apart on the style 10 and 6. I'm Sorry is now all alone in the skies in the style 10 and 6, just getting its balloon back up, struggling to get engines back up. Hull is very low. Oh my goodness, mine hits. Bring down the armor on the I'm Sorry.
Oh dear. And now in this style 10 and 6 is low, which is probably not too bad. Hopefully he can just sort of get out of here somehow, but Admiral Cake Bar's coming in to blend him into the ground. And in this style 10 and 6 does not have very far to go before he starts hitting the ground.
In the style 10 and 6, that Carronade taking out its balloon. He is going to be ground out. They're trying to get mine shots on the Admiral Cake Bar, but if the Admiral Cake Bar stays close, that's just not going to be an option.
Yeah,
they're gone.
That's the end of him.
Wow. I'm Sorry. Was were they trying to cover? No, they did not try to come back in.
They might have stroked their chin for half a second before thinking, nah. Yeah.
It's always good when you're in this kind of situation. This is an important note for future competitive pilots and players in general. When you're in a less than optimal situation and you lose a ship, do everything in your power to disengage. Unless you already have an armor down and you're getting a kill on a ship, disengage. There's an old saying that what's Newton's first law of motion?
Newton's third law.
Newton's first law of motion.
Believe it or not, I'm not actually a physicist, so...
well, darn it.
I can't immediately draw that information.
Brick, everything you have told me about yourself is a lie.
Yes, I have lied to you about my physics background. But one thing I can tell you, though, is I'm sorry is taking Hades from the Admiral Cake Bar and Admiral Cake Bar being fired upon in return.
Thank you, Doctor. Anything in motion will stay in motion. So as I was saying, if you're in a bad engagement, it will tend to stay a bad engagement for you. Yes, sometimes things get turned around, but more often than not, an engagement will keep going the same direction it was going.
I'd say get out if you can. If you can't, just try and get a kill.
Yeah, try to get out. A solid reset on an engagement after you've lost a ship may be just the thing you need to pull it back out. A comment also from the chat from Scrimscraw, commenting that the Hades itself, not that good against Junkers, and unless a balloon is popped, I would tend to agree. It is very hard to hit the hull of a Junker with a Hades. Admiral Cake Bar and Dancing Cake moving into position here, engaging at close range in the style 10 and 6, and I'm sorry, using the building here in the center to do a little body blocking, getting some shots there on the Dancing Cake. If that armor goes down, those flag shots will do a number on it, but that's a big if in this situation.
I think this is the kind of engage that Cake want, to be honest. I mean, they can just duck in and out of cover quite easily. The Pyramidians can't do that while keeping their arcs on, especially
these mines.
Given these
look at these mines. These mines are making life very difficult for the gents. They can't do their full-out brawl thing with this Metamidian with these mines just sitting about.
The Mad Hatters, this situation's going to get more and more awkward for them the longer it goes on.
Not what they wanted at all. Oh god!
10 and 6 bouncing against stuff. Oh my god, he is just mere meters away from hitting a bunch of mines. Oh, there's a couple there.
In the style 10 and 6, losing most of their armor to that mine hit. A couple of the shots coming in to help that along. Those two Junkers both losing some armor, but not nearly enough to justify the amount of damage that the gents have taken. More mine hits going down in this style 10 and 6, losing its armor, but not being focused just yet. I'm sorry, also losing its armor. This is being focused over. Banshee shots coming in. Hades shots were coming in.
Admiral Cake Bar takes a bit of a bounce as he tries to get into a good position to finish. I'm sorry, they won't matter too much because he's still got his arcs on, still gets the finish.
In the style 10 and 6 could be the last kill of this best of 3 if they don't do something drastic. It looks like they are. They are jetting out of here as fast as possible. Engines are burning. Balloon is in pain. Yes, balloon goes down over a building. Oh, but they're in the clear. They're in the clear.
Engines are burning, but they're not burning kerosene. They're just on fire. In this style 10 and 6, just barely managing to get out before his engines burn to a crisp.
But look at this spawn in here.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, coming in on the far side of the map.
You couldn't have asked for a worse spawn, really. In this style, 10 and 6 is in a dodgy spot, but in this style 10 and 6 does have superior speed. In this style, 10 and 6 needs to jet out of there. I think he needs to get back to his ally. He does not want to engage these Junkers 2-on-1.
The spawn in from the I'm sorry just causes all sorts of problems for the Mad Hatters team, in my opinion. I would have liked to see a closer spawn than that, but understandably, chaos of the situation, you only get certain spawns on these maps. I'm sorry, though, is sitting in the open air. I'm not exactly sure what it's doing. It's just sitting out there exposed.
It is a bit, isn't it? They definitely know where in this style it is because of those mines just got put out. I'm sorry has been spotted now. Now the Cake team are very much aware of where everyone is. In this style 10 and 6 going for broke here. In this style 10 and 6 coming in on the Admiral Cake Bar. Why the Admiral Cake Bar? The Dancing Cake's right in front, ready to body block. And in this style 10 and 6 rams the Dancing Cake, who body blocks the Admiral Cake Bar.
But these Junkers are going to try. It looks like they're trying to use in style 10 and 6 to help block shots.
Dancing Cake hit one of its own mines, or at least one of Admiral Cake Bar's mines.
A mine was hit somewhere.
A mine was hit. Much sorrow was had.
In the Style 10 and 6, losing its balloon again. Admiral Cake Bar. Someone lost their armor. Oh god.
Armor was lost. Permahull was lost. In this Style 10 and 6 is going down. I'm sorry. He's managing to get some consistent shots on the Dancing Cake.
Without the consistent firepower of the Metamitting, I don't believe the I'm Sorry has the potential to take out one of these Junkers. It's simply too difficult.
If they hit every single shot with the Hades, then maybe. Otherwise, probably not.
Oh, in the Style 10 and 6, losing its armor. Hull is being broken down by that Banshee. They are going to tap. Oh, no, they just barely. Oh, my God.
On those rusty metal rebars.
Mines are right behind him, too, if he so much as backs up.
Oh, God! Well, ask and you shall receive. The spontaneous explosion of 2 mines, finishing him off and giving...
Kaboom! That was crazy.
Yes, more maniacal laughter from the totally not mad professor of Guns of Icarus.
Oh, good lord. That was clearly a photo finish there, if nothing else, because of how beautiful of a photo we would have gotten out of that.
Oh, yes. Well, I think we just have to kind of go back and, well, we've got it recorded, so we can take out the frame and then put it on the wall and frame it. You know, hang it on the wall. Brilliant. Okay, brilliant.
Congratulations. Anyway. Cake does get the win. That was very well played by both sides of the equation there. I feel like there was a bit of a mismatch with the first game. Mad Hatters, though, showing that they're learning quite a bit as they're progressing. Cake, though, outflew them, had better tactics in the situation, and using the Mandarin style did an excellent job.
Agreed, 100%. Well, that takes us on to the finals, I believe. Doopy-doopy-doo. Let's get out of this lobby. That's enough of that.
See if it's up yet.
There's my lovely, lovely brackets. This Cake versus the Glow Waterfalls.
Cake versus Thralls. This is gonna be a little messy here.
Yes, it's